Hi everyone, this is Maha, and I'm doing a review for you today of a tarot deck which I feel is kind of overlooked, and that it is called The Twilight Realm, a Tarot of Faery by Beth Wilder, or Wilder, hopefully whichever one is correct. So this is the box, nice and sturdy, by Schiffer Company, which I love, absolutely love. Very nice quality boxes. Here's the back. The box opens up like so. And then you've got the book and the cards here. So first I'm going to show you the book. So it's a fairly decent book. Starts out by a very short intro about her and why she chose to make a tarot deck. Then a few pages of spreads, and then it goes right into the major arcana, giving you a description of her ideas behind the images and the myths and stories that accompany each card, and a very short reverse meaning as well. And then it goes, after the major arcana, you've got the minor arcana, and that's about it. So that's the book, and just wanted to say a quick word about the suits. She associates the suit of basically swords and wands are reversed. So she associates wands with air and swords with fire. But this does not, not to kind of catch you off guard, this won't change your readings. As far as I'm concerned, the cards are following the same sequence as the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. So it won't change your readings. That's what I was afraid of when I first heard this, but it doesn't change it. And you'll see that when I show you the cards. So that was the book, and the cards are very nicely sized. Sorry, that's my parrot in the background. So they're bigger than the Rider-Waite-Smith deck cards. I would say, if you're familiar with Doreen Virtue decks or Colette Baron Reed, they're kind of around the same size. I prefer this size personally. I really like shuffling these cards. They are quite thick, very good quality cardboard. Let's see, you can tell, and they're shiny on both sides, laminated on both sides. Very, very beautiful cards. Beautiful colors and nice renditions. She's a great artist, and she's also the author of her book. Right, so let's go and take a look at the cards. Okay, so I'm going to start by showing you the major arcana first, and then the suits. So as we look at the cards, you will notice that there aren't only fairies depicted in these images, and that there are dragons, unicorns, nymphs, mermaids. You will notice also that even though her cards are based on Rider-Waite system, she does deviate and go into her own depiction and her own interpretation of the images of each card. And I quite like that, actually, because it makes it interesting. It's interesting to see how different people come up with different images of each card in their own way. Also, you notice that the fairies are not all happy, cheerful fairies, and there are a lot of kind of darker images, but I kind of like that. I find that very stimulating and it intrigues me. Okay, so here we go. The Fool is the first card we'll start with. So all the images are done on black backgrounds, and it looks like she's used chalk or some kind of pastels. If you look very closely, you'll be able to see this kind of chalkboard effect. It's really neat because you can see the texture, and I really like that. I really like the artwork. The Magician. The High Priestess. The Empress. The Emperor. The Hierophant. And Hierophant is a lady. Yes, just another word to add. There are more females in this deck than there are males, and you will see that. You'll notice that. The Lovers. So, like I said, there's always this kind of mysterious story behind each card, and when you read the book, she explains what the images are, and she talks about the stories and the myths behind them. But you definitely don't need the book to read the cards, of course, as always. I like this card very much. It's a Strength. It actually reminds me of Temperance card in the Mary L. Tarot, if you're familiar with that. I really like this image. The Hermit, also a lady. The Wheel of Fortune. Justice. The Hanged One. This is another image that's, she's also a woman. This is another image that's kind of a darker image. But of course, you have to spend more time with the card. Death. I like the fact that there are dark cards. I think that's part of the tarot system. And just in my opinion, I don't really like when it's not my preference when the creators of the decks try to eliminate the so-called negative cards to make everything positive. But that's just me. The Devil. The Tower. Hopefully you can see the cards well. Unfortunately, I couldn't do anything about the reflection. I even tried filming these cards during the day, but it seems to be better at night. It's a difficult deck to film because you've got this dark background and the cards are very shiny. The Star. All the cards have the Roman numerals on the bottom and a small writing. The black border makes it very elegant. The Moon and the Sun. The Sun has two children, depicting children. Judgment. I really like the Judgment card. Phoenix. Shows a phoenix being reborn from fire. Out of fire. Very cool. The World. This is, when you read her book, it's supposed to be Gaia. Some of the descriptions are kind of like they kind of set you off, so it's nice when you just do your own, familiarize yourself with the cards. on your own. Alright, so now we're going to go into the minor arcana. And I'll start with the cups. The Ace of Cups. All the aces are very simple. They just have one image of the suit. In this case, it's showing a lotus flower. And you'll see that in the cups, it's showing different images, not just the cups, actual cups or chalice. I love this Ace of Cups. It's one of my favorite cards of all time. It's so simple, but yet so elegant. Love it. That's actually one of the reasons why I bought this deck. Two of Cups. I love this image too. That's very nice. Two mermaids holding each other. Very beautiful interpretation of union. They're holding three shells in the Three of Cups. And she's not, there's no, yeah, there's some cups actually in this one, Four of Cups. It's a mermaid. So no fairy here. Some of them don't have any fairies in them at all. Some of them have fairies and other things. And some of them have people in them. This one has lotus flowers. Five of Cups. Different feeling from the regular Rider-Waite. And even the Six of Cups is quite different feeling. Most of them show children or something like looking back and memories. This one has its own story, which you'll have to find out about if you want to in the book. Seven of Cups. I like this one. The sirens luring the ships, distracting them from their decisions or whatever, like the Seven of Cups could say. Eight of Cups. Nine of Cups. 10 of Cups. And the Page is a baby. Very small child anyway. The Princess of Cups. Very nice. She's holding a lotus. Alright, so just as you will notice, a word here, you'll notice that it's a princess and not a knight, as the Rider-Waite normally has. And so in the feminine suits, so the cups and the pentacles, she uses princess. She substitutes princess for knights. But in the masculine suits, she has a man as a prince. So that's just another thing that's different. Queen of Cups. And King of Cups. I love this. Poseidon. Right. Then we go into the wands. And it looks like I have to start backwards this time. King of Wands. Queen of Wands. So there we go. Prince of Wands. On the page. This is a beautiful card. So pretty the way she's depicted this child. So wondrous the way she's looking at the wands. Ten. 9. 8. Detailed. Some of these cards are very highly detailed. You gotta look at them closely. That's quite different from the 8 of Wands that you normally see. 7. 6. Love this one too. Beautiful Phoenix. 5 of Wands. Hard to see. There's some bad guys lurking around in there. 4 of Wands. I love this card. So beautiful. Such a nice symbol of resting in nature. There's two fairies on top. Union. There's the Three of Wands. Two of Wands. I love this one too. It's like a beautiful depiction of beginnings, starting something, going on a quest, making a wish. Ace of Wands, very simple, very well lit. Swords, suit of swords, King of Swords. Very powerful man. I love the court cards and the swords. I love this card. This is one of my favorite Queens of Swords ever. It's really beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful artwork. She's just so regal. Love it. Prince of Swords. Page of Swords. 10. Speaking of the darker cards, there's all these people, dead people on the ground, and there's death flying on top. For those of you that actually, like me, don't mind having dark cards in their deck, you would like this. 9 of Swords. This is also kind of a different depiction of 8 of Swords, but when you read the book, it will make more sense. Seven, 6. This is also very nice. Another favorite of mine. 5. I have a scary fairy in there. Forget her name. Jenny, Green Jenny. The one that kills you. 4 swords. 3. I'm going backwards. 3. I like this 3. I actually really notice. I always look at 3s in all decks to see how they've depicted the heart. This 3 swords going into a heart. What other ways has the artist been able to depict that? It's always very interesting for me. I like this one. 2 of Swords. I liked what she says in the book about this one, how she saw this image in the bark of a tree. Ace of Swords. Very simple. Okay, so I'm going to start with the Ace of Rings, and so the rings are what she calls pentacles. Two of Rings. 3. 4. Oops, upside down. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. And the Page of Rings. I love this one. I like all the court cards in this deck because they have a lot of personality. You know, I mean, she depicts the faces. That's very important for me. I think court cards are all about personality. So when you have the faces that give personality, it makes it so much easier to read. You know. This is Princess of Rings. This is Queen of Rings. She looks happy. And King of Rings. This is a very nice king as well. He looks very wild and nature-like, like the pentacle necklace he's wearing. Alright, that concludes my review of the Faery Twilight Realm of Faery deck. Thanks so much for watching, and see you in the next videos. Bye!